5 family members have died in a fire that erupted in their Pretoria West home just after midnight. 4 men aged between 18 and 24 and a woman aged 46 were killed. Only 2 family members managed to escape the blaze. The cause of the fire is still unknown, but law enforcement agencies are investigating the incident. Let's get you more details now. We're joined by Newzroom Afrika's Zikhona Chona, who is at the scene for us. So what more do we know about what happened at this hour? Zikhona, did neighbors see or hear anything?
Well, Dudu, as we speak, neighbors are still surrounding the house. Behind me is the house that caught alight at around 1:30 this morning. We hear from law enforcement officials. But to give us more details, there is a neighbor who actually responded to the fire and managed to save 2 people at the blaze. Simon Mutawong is a neighbor who came in to intervene. What happened, Budi? What did you hear around that time?
Yes, I was called by my neighbor, and then he said I must come and check. There's a fire in the house. So I ran to this place. I was at work. I ran from where I was, and when I get here, there was fire. The whole house was on fire. So I tried to get something that I can use to open the window, one of the windows. I used an axe to break the butler bar, and then I managed to take out a small boy of about 4 or 5 years of age. And when I get back for the second time, I managed to rescue the lady who's staying here. And then when I wanted to go for the third time, I couldn't because the smoke was and the flames were high. I was suffocating. I couldn't manage to help the rest.
Sorry, but I'm going to ask that we just remove your phone before we continue. And then what happened after that?
We managed to rescue only 2 people. The mother and the small boy. Yeah, and then the rest is history. There were about 5 people inside, and we didn't manage to help them. But we tried by all means, but we couldn't.
How are you?
I'm really shocked. I'm feeling very, very sad about the situation. It's really traumatizing.
And the neighbors that were inside this fire, what can you tell us about this family?
They are a very good family. I've been knowing them for quite some time. They are a very good family. We just don't know what happened. Yes.
Thank you so much. But Simon Mutawong, who's a neighbor, who came in at around 1:30 this morning when he was told, I received a call from a neighbor that there's a fire, and as he's mentioned that he used an axe to try and open a window so that he can rescue people. He managed to rescue 2 people from this fire, and as you can see, his eyes, he's very disturbed by what has transpired here. Law enforcement officials are still on the scene, and as I've mentioned, neighbors as well outside the walls of this house. The neighbors are still here, very shocked by what has happened.
Absolutely, a very traumatized Mr. Mutawong there, Zikhona, as we still are waiting to establish details in terms of the condition of the 2 people that he did manage to rescue. Perhaps if you could just walk us through the house and just show us the extent of damage, please.
So the family has asked that we keep a distance from the house. As you can see, it's still a crime scene. So this is where the family has asked us to be positioned so that we can try and get a sense of what has happened. From what I can see before my eyes, the roof completely caved in. All the glasses from the windows of this house have been broken. I'm going to try and ask, but Simon, which side of the house did you try, and which window did you break?
The main bedroom one, the last one. Yes.
All right. And then how did you manage to save the 2 people from there?
I don't know. I really don't know. But I just tried all I can do. I break the butler bar. and they pushed it inside and managed to grab the baby who was in the mother's hands. I pulled him out, and then I went back for the second time. I pulled the lady out also. Yes.
All right. But Simon, they're just trying to give us as much detail as he can from his heroic act this morning, wherein he saved rather 2 people from this inferno that happened here in Pretoria West at around 1:30 this morning. We'll give you more updates as the story develops. Law enforcement officials are on the ground, so they'll be able to give us some updates with regards to the health conditions of the people that were saved, and also with regards to the investigation that continues as to what exactly caused this fire.
And we'll touch base with you then, Zikona Chona, in Pretoria West for us, where a fire consumed 5 family members, and we can see the extent of damage to that house, where it even, just burnt burglar bars as well. A very traumatic situation for Mr. Mudang, but a big thank you to him for sharing those details.